Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Colorado Rockies franchise. Now, we're fresh off of the trade deadline and All-Star break, and this team is kind of doing worse than what we expected, obviously, but I think this is about where we thought we could potentially be. A rebuild is fully on, and you can just see right here, we have a long way to go here to catch up with the top two teams in our division, the Dodgers and the Padres. We don't have any stars on our team right now, and Charlie Blackmon is quickly declining. He's still hitting pretty well, but now we have to depend on these young guys to really be the future of our organization. Now, we decide to move Garrett Hampson, I can't even say his name, over to center field. He is 27 years old and A potential. I still really like him, and I had him on the trade block for a little bit, but now I think I'm going to keep him. That leaves the middle infield wide open. I have Brian Rocchio there as a future shortstop. We acquired him at the trade deadline for Austin Gomber and some other guys. And then we also have Ryan Valade, who's hitting .318 this year at AA. A big change from him. I believe last year he hit about .220. Now he's hitting .318. That is a huge difference. We also acquired Keston Hiura, who is 25 years old, and I love what he has with that right-handed bat. And then we also acquired Ramil Coffer, who we will see today. He is a lefty, 22 years old, not having the greatest of years, but at 22 years old, I think he can really develop. Now we go up against the Diamondbacks, who are also chasing the Dodgers and Padres in this division along with the Giants, and let's see what Coffer has on the mound. I think he is gonna be a potentially pretty good pitcher. 19 starts, 3-10 record, but a 3.89 ERA, which isn't too bad for your rookie season. He's also stunning a 1.48 whip, so we'll have to see how that improves over time. Now here's the lineup here for the Diamondbacks. You can just see Freddie Freeman is hitting .299. He was their big acquisition in the offseason, signing with them over a $190 million deal. So let's get into the action here in the first inning. Here is Coffer facing this tough Arizona up-and-coming lineup. And you can just see there was a ground out that time to Fuentes. That brings up Freddie Freeman, who's hitting .299 on the year. He goes to opposite field, then takes it into the bleachers. Home run! Freddie Freeman, 441 feet to opposite field, his 16th home run of the season. And he makes it a 1-0 lead here for the Diamondbacks. So now that brings us to the second inning, as here is Coffer trying to get some outs here, but giving up another hit, this time to Peralta. Now with 2 outs in the inning, on a 3-2 count, the runner is on the move and a hit to center field, and Hampson does come up throwing. And now they have men on first and third with Madison Bumgarner up to the plate. He's actually a pretty good pitcher that's a hitter, and he does. Look at that outside curveball. Good placement on that one, and he gets through 2. On to the third inning. Here is Freddie Freeman at the plate again for his second at-bat. This time going to opposite field again, getting all the way to the wall, and Daza plays it off. And that one will be a 2-out double here for their best player. Ketel Marte at the plate here with a man aboard on second base, and Coffer walks him as well. So Peralta up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 in this game. He hits just a dribbler to center field. That one just gets down. Hampson tried to dive at that one. He couldn't get there, and Daza fields it, but 2 runs will come around to score, and it's now 3-0 here in the third inning off of that hit by Peralta. He is 2 for 2 on the day. That brings up Josh Van Meter to the plate with the man on second base with 2 outs, and Coffer does eventually get out of the inning, but 3 runs of damage. And now we move on to the top of the 6th inning. Peralta back at the plate here for his third at bat. He is 2 for 2 in this game. He hits a laser to right field, and that one gets over the head of Will Benson, knocking off of the wall. And that one will be another hit for Peralta in this game. And what a laser that time. And we're going to visit Coffer. He's at 49 strikes and 53 balls. Not a very productive outing by Coffer, but I still like the future that I have with him. He's a lefty. He is one of the few lefties I can actually say, hey, I can develop this guy. He's still young. and we can see what we have. So move on to the bottom of the ninth inning. Here's Josh Fuentes at the plate. He hits one to the left side. That one gets through. We're down by 2 now, 6-4. Maybe a little comeback here in the ninth inning. Bases loaded with 2 outs. You never know. An extra base hit could win this game. Jeurys Familia comes out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks to close this one out, as that brings Will Benson to the plate here, 0 for 4, but with a chance to be a hero in this one. Here's a high pitch, and that one is fouled off, 98 on the gun. So 3-2 count, 2 outs, the runners are on the move, and hit up the middle, and Familia fields that one. Maybe a little luck. That one should have gotten through the infield, but a great play by Familia. And that one will do it. The Diamondbacks come into our house and beat us 6-4. Both teams hit the ball extremely well. 14 hits by the Diamondbacks, 12 by us. And I really wanted to check out Coffer in this game. In his first start with the Rockies, he went 5 1/3, gave up 8 hits though. He also gave up 4 earned runs. I definitely want to see what he has in the future. I'm not expecting too much this season, but next year and the year after that, I definitely want to see some progression with him getting better. So the trade deadline does pass, and I just want to look at the trades here that went down. Dallas Keuchel got traded from the White Sox, but then I just zoom in here. Shohei Ohtani gets traded to the Royals. Now, you got to be kidding me. Here are the 2 players that it took to acquire Ohtani. Chase Valade, is that how you say it? Valade? He is a potential, but a 25-year-old catcher at 68 overall. That's not even close. And then they also get Junior Villalobos, who is 66 overall C potential, an excellent hitter. But that's not going to get it done for Ohtani. And I think going forward in this game, I'm going to turn the trade sliders down to hopefully avoid this type of thing. People have pointed out that trades are broken and there are some ridiculous trades that happen, and that was obviously one of them. So we move on here after the trade deadline to get through this month of August into September. And we go up against the Padres, and we're just trying to play catch up with these 2 teams. I just want to see what our team is capable of here. Fuentes actually is hitting the ball well. He had a double right there. That one drove in a run. Brings it to 3-1. Let's see if we can get John Gray a win. He's actually having one of the best seasons of his career at a 1.26 whip. He's almost had a 3.5 ERA. And I like what he's doing this year, but our runs just aren't there. We lose to the Padres in this one. 3-1. We only get 3 hits in that game as well. Then we see Derek Rodriguez on the mound versus the Padres, and this is a guy that's got the wins, but you know the stats aren't all there. He's at a 1.51 whip just about, and at about an average ERA as well. But San Diego does take the 4-0 lead in the first inning. They actually tee off on him, and we get bases loaded here in the third, and we actually drive in 4 runs in that inning to tie up the game. Then we go and pull Derek Rodriguez in that 4th inning, the top of the 4th, or the bottom of the 4th, and it looks like San Diego just piles it on now, and it looks like they are up 9-4, now 11-4, as we bring in Carlos Estevez. He gets shelled pretty well. We take him out, and then after that, we just can't produce any runs. But San Diego continues to hit the ball well. We just can't do anything. We do get a home run late by Will Benson, bringing it to 6-12. But we just don't have the offense. We don't have the, just the depth on this team to compete with the Padres just yet. And we end up losing this game 14-6. Manny Machado, 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 2 walks. And he goes 3 for 3 in that game as well. So now we hop into the 3rd game of this 3-game set versus San Diego. This time we are up by 1. So I want to see what happens here. We have Tatis at the plate and Trent Grisham at first. So Yency Almonte on the mound for us. He has been struggling so far this year. And that time, that is a steal by Grisham. He had an excellent jump. I did not throw it right away because I saw the jump that he had. And now that brings it to a 3-2 count here. Man in scoring position, and Tatis just fouls that one off to right field. The count continues this time. A low pitch, and that is a changeup low in the zone. And that one will be a walk and will bring up the red-hot Manny Machado. You saw last game he went 3 for 3. He is 6 for 10 in this series, and let's see if we can get him out. So 2-2 count this time, outside pitch, and he swings at a fastball out of the zone. The two-seamer got him to chase, and that one will do it. We go on to win this game 7-6 here, and the Padres, we finally get them. We avoid the sweep, and the Rockies get 12 hits, and we give up 11 hits still. I mean, our pitching is just giving up way too many runs, way too many hits, too many guys on base. That's kind of what we're seeing this year. And I think that, going into the offseason, free agency, I definitely want to get some pitchers that, can get guys out and not give up hits. So here we are. We move on to another series here versus Houston. We're tied here at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's see if we can walk it off here and come home with the victory at home. So Keston Hiura at the plate. He is one of our newest acquisitions on the squad. He watches that outside pitch, a low fastball, and that one will be a pop-up. I'm waiting for Hiura to really get going with that 99 power. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that looks like. He had good timing on that swing as that brings up Will Benson. He hits one right on the screws, but it is right at the center fielder. A line shot, and that's 2 outs in the inning as that brings up Josh Fuentes to the plate. 1 for 3 in this game. He gets a pitch right over the middle, and he hits it to right field. That one should knock off of the wall. Extra base hit for Fuentes, and Fuentes has been hitting extremely well since being moved up with Will Benson. We moved Benson and Fuentes up at the same time, and Fuentes hitting around 270, actually very good. That brings up Brendan Rodgers here next at the plate. He hits one up the middle. That one should score Fuentes, and it does. How about Rodgers coming through? You gotta love that. He's a guy that's kind of on the bubble on this squad because we've been looking for him to be the shortstop of the future, but he has not been living up to expectation. He goes 2 for 4 in this one, but this should be a confidence booster for him. 3-2 here. We get 8 hits, and Rodgers 2 for 4 with the home run as well. And then Hiura goes 2 for 4. Fuentes also goes 2 for 4. So to start out the month of August, you can just see we're actually not doing bad. We're 1 game over 500 through the first 15 days of the month. And now we go up against the 41-win Miami Marlins. We have 1 more win than them right now. And in the NL, it is between the Marlins, Pirates, and the Rockies for the worst record. But you can just see we are actually possibly on our way to a sweep here, getting swept by the Marlins. They are up 2-0, 2-0 here in the series, and they won both games 2-1. So we're going to face Daniel Castano on the mound here for the Marlins as we get going. Here's Hampson at leadoff. He is hitting tremendous this year, hitting about 260. That's obviously not a great average, but based on what we've seen in the past with him, Hampson last year and earlier in the season, he's actually hitting pretty good here in the second half of the year. He's hitting over 300 on the road, actually, and hitting lower at home, about 212, as that is Brendan Rodgers up to the plate here in the 2 spot, and it's just a ground ball to short. That brings up Charlie Blackmon to the plate, hitting down at 265 this year, way down from what he was last year. He hits a pop-up to right field. We are going to tag up Hampson with 95 speed, and he will get in there as that moves the runner over in scoring position to third base. That brings up Greg Byrd, who gets to start at first base today, and he swings and misses at a fastball. Was a little bit ahead of that one, and we get no runs in the first inning. So on to the second here, as this is Derek Rodriguez on the mound for us. I am looking forward to developing him, but now the time has come for him to really produce. He's putting up average numbers, average to below numbers. Somehow he's getting wins, but we'll see if he can continue to develop. But here's a hit to center field. But look at this. Hampson falls asleep and gets it to the cutoff man, but takes his time. And Jorge Alfaro makes it to second. What a blunder. That brings up Monty Harrison. And that's what happens when you fall asleep. A hit to center field. Hampson once again lollygags, throws it to second, and the throw is offline. Back-to-back doubles given up by Derek Rodriguez, but Hampson fell asleep at the wheel. It's 1-0 for the Marlins. So that brings up Castano here with 2 outs, and he is just going to hit a pop-up to center field. and that one will be the third out of the inning, but Miami takes the 1-run lead. So on to the fourth inning. Here is Adam Duvall at the plate as Rodriguez continues to go, and he's only given up 1 run. It's not a bad outing so far as he walks the first guy, but that brings up Garrett Cooper, who hits one to left center. That one reaches the wall. Here is Hampson fielding this one off the wall, comes up throwing to the cutoff man, and that one will be thrown home, but not in time. 2-0 here as Duvall scores from first base, and now it is a 2-0 hole here for the Marlins against the Rockies. Here is a ground ball up the middle now. A man on the corners, and that one will be flipped to second. Eric Gonzalez was covering the bag, and now we are down by 2 as we enter the 5th inning. Nothing doing with our offense so far in this game, as this is Dickerson at the plate. He draws the 1-out walk, as that brings up the meat of their lineup here. Brian Anderson at the plate, hits one deep to left center. That one is going to reach the wall again. Blackman comes up throwing. He throws it to the cutoff man, misses the first one, and it gets to the backup, but it's not going to be in time. 3-0 here for the Marlins as Derek Rodriguez still on the mound. This is his 100th pitch of the game, and this one is hit to right field. It gets past Benson all the way to the wall again. Extra base hits galore in this game for the Marlins. 4-0 on the 100th pitch of the evening. That's gonna make us go to the bullpen. We go and bring in Jordan Sheffield. Our bullpen is just not doing well. You can just see Jordan Sheffield's given up pretty much a 292 average to opposing hitters. That brings up the next batter, who goes to left field, and it's gonna be a shot to left down the line. But look at Blackman. He lets this one go all the way to the wall. Hampson has to field it, but look at where the cutoff man is. Not even lined up with home plate, and it's a inside the park home run. And how can this even happen? It's Alfaro again, and somehow, I don't know how that happened. Look where the cutoff man is. Brendan Rodgers is supposed to be lined up with third base. I mean, that is a triple. You got to be lined up with third. But instead, it's an inside the park home run. 6-1 on the road. We get swept by the Marlins, and the Rockies possibly now hit a all-time low in this series so far. Garrett Hampson goes 2 for 4. Eric Gonzalez goes 2 for 4 as well. But our offense just isn't producing the runs right now. As after that loss, it gets bad. I mean, we lose 3 straight to Miami. We lose 3 straight to Milwaukee. 4 straight to Miami again. And then we lose versus the Dodgers. We are on a 12-game losing streak to start the month of September. That's how low it has gotten for this team. We're not getting on base. We're 30th in on-base percentage. Keston Hiura leads us there, 366. He's actually hitting pretty well. Jose Iglesias and Blackman. But those are the 3 we expect to be that good. ERA-wise, we are 28th in ERA. So our pitching isn't doing well at all either. And just looking at our top averages here, Jose Iglesias is hitting 307. Hiura is at 283. And then Fuentes is actually surprising a lot of people. He's at 277. But besides that, we don't really have anybody doing very well. Blackman is aging, and he's aging fast. I mean, he is not having a good year right now, hitting 268. He's got 18 home runs. This isn't like a terrible year, but in Blackman standards, this is a bad year. Eric Gonzalez is just a reserve. He's hitting 261. Garrett Hampson is actually hitting pretty decently compared to what he's been hitting for us, 255. I want to get that up to 260, 270, but I like what he's doing right now. 334 on base percentage isn't bad at all, but Buster Posey is not having a good year. Now, I thought this was going to be a good signing. I was expecting like a 270 season, 280 season, but no, down to 226 for him. And 226 for Brendan Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers is just not hitting well. He's not getting on base either with a 263 on base percentage. That's bad. So I just don't know. You guys have said you guys want to trade him, but here's the thing. I mean, we've been developing Rodgers. The Rockies organization have been developing Rodgers. Maybe this is just a case where it's just not going to work. Rodgers is not doing well. I'm not too worried about Will Benson just because, it's his first big league action. Rookies do take time to, do well. So I'm actually, hopeful for Will Benson, even though he's hitting 211. So in the future, we do have a couple of guys here that could possibly be coming up, not this season, but just looking down the road. Hitor Takahashi, Zach Veen, and Ryan Valade, they're all hitting tremendous at the AA level, so I'm happy about that. And Brian Rocchio is actually right now at 73 overall. He could progress maybe a 1 or 2 or even 3 more points before the end of the season and be maybe about mid-70s overall by the start of spring training next year. So here are the top prospects in baseball. We do have a couple of subscriber recruits on other teams that are here. But then we have a new top 50 prospect, and that is Atlas Luntich at number 43. Happy to see that. He is 23 years old, a starting pitcher. He's about 67 overall, though, in beat potential. But still, I'm happy to see another Rocky on the top 50. So here are the standings here at the end of August here, and you can see we are 42 and 85. We have literally over doubled our losses than wins, and we are on this 12-game losing streak. This is really bad. Hopefully we can get that win in our next game as we start next episode, but we are not the worst team in baseball right now. The Pirates are on their way to their 3rd straight number 1 overall pick in this series. And then the Marlins aren't far behind, but you just saw we just lost 7 games to the Marlins in the last 12 games. So that's going to do it here. Hopefully we can get better towards the end of the season and get this squad right. But right now, I'm not hopeful for at least our offense because it's just not looking good. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we